Welcome back to the T3 podcast. And today's topic is new construction versus resale homes. So let's talk about it. So, what do y'all think? Yeah, let's dive right into new construction or resale. What do you tell your buyers when they ask you, hey, Eric, what's the difference with those two?
My main thing that I go off of the difference is going to be their price points and what they're comfortable paying monthly.
Okay.
Because if we go with the and of course with location, I'll ask them what's your monthly budget, what's your desired location. If they say somewhere Paso that's like central, um, Lower Valley, then we want to go with resales
Okay.
because they're not building any more homes over there. That's more historic, older homes, established neighborhoods,
Right.
and we won't even look at new construction. But if they want to go far east, Horizon, Northeast, West Side, then we'll throw in some new construction to our home shop list.
Okay, so location. That's probably the first one, right? Would be location, depending on where they want to live. A lot of people don't want to take a drive because it takes, a few minutes to get out there, 30 minutes from Central to get to the far east or the far west, or even up in the North Park, which is the Northeast, where they're building
Right.
homes. So location will be one. Price is another one, you said, so obviously it's like buying a new car. A new car is going to be a lot higher priced than a used car. So it kind of goes the same with some new construction, right? Because they're brand new.
Brand new.
All right. All right. So what else? What else do you think, Chris, would be? What would you tell your buyers? Say, hey, Chris, what's the difference between a resale home and a new construction home?
Well, just to kind of throw a curveball, I do have a buyer, and they said, I I want a new. I They didn't specify. I asked them, do you want a resale or new
So
construction?
you're the one that initiated. Okay.
Correct. And they said, I just want to get into a home with zero problem. I don't want any roof damage. I
Boom.
don't want any plumbing issues. And I'm like, okay, what area are you looking for? We don't care.
Okay. So there, boom. That's right
So
there.
in my head, new
It's
construction.
program right there. New construction
New
all day.
construction. I
Because
showed
it's a
them
brand new house
the brand new
with
house
warranties.
with warranty.
There you go.
That's right.
With warranties. No problems.
No problem.
Well, it's not guaranteed, but they are built by
They are
human
man-made.
hands, right?
And we'll still go through the process of a home inspection, and we'll
Right.
do a initial walkthrough and the final walk.
So what are the pros and cons that you tell your buyers?
So some of the pro is mine is obviously would be the location. Do they like to be in an established neighborhood where there's green grass? Here with the winds in El Paso, Cielo Vista doesn't experience, not like the Far East, like in the tierra, dirt. They don't experience all the dirt that the new construction homes experience because it's all desert. Over here, and like in the Cielo Vista area, there's grass, there's trees. So they see the wind, but they don't get all the dirt. So established neighborhoods. Um, Appraisals is another one. You have to worry about any appraisals. Appraisals on new constructions will probably come in at value, right? Because we want to keep the appraisals pretty much the same within the neighborhoods, right? So the appraisals will come in at value. Resales, it can be up and down. You got one neighborhood which has nice homes, and then across the street, not so nice.
Correct.
Um, so um, established neighborhoods, warranties, and repairs. If you do, like you said earlier, Chris, that if you're going to do an inspection report even on new homes,
Correct.
you're going to do an inspection for a resale home as well. But with new construction, the builder will fix all those repairs. It's a done deal. With a resale, are you gonna have to negotiate that with the seller? The seller's gonna say, no, you know what, my house is perfect. If they want any repairs, they can go buy a new home. How many times do we hear that? All the time. Oh, they want these repairs, go buy a new home. I'll just put mine back on the market.
Yeah.
Right. So you don't have to deal with those kind of issues when you buy a new construction. So also my take as far as what I would tell my buyers. New construction resale. Some other ones. Let's talk about maybe incentives. Who would offer more incentives, the resales or the new construction?
Well, right off the bat, it's going to be new construction. They're going to offer
Closing costs. Sometimes with their preferred lender, sometimes they're open to any lender. Where they're going to give you incentives to cover your closing costs, which is typically about 3 to 4%.
Right.
Builder will take care of that because they have so many homes sitting right now that are just they're paying taxes on it, they're paying interest on it, so they want to try to push those homes and move those homes. So
Right.
they
Yeah,
give
get them off.
buyers
Get them off the books.
incentives to cover your closing costs. There's some builders out there that offer interest rate buy downs. They're going to throw in the fridge, they're going to throw in from landscaping, the washer dryer. And some I've had washer dryer incentives. with
Okay.
some of my
Yeah,
buyers.
especially the first time home buyer, right? They're barely, coming in with that money to buy the
Yeah,
house.
want to make it
Now
as
they gotta
stress-
buy-
as stress
I gotta buy a washer dryer.
Yeah. Washer dryer. So those are some of the incentives, and get with us, your agents who make sure that we're going to show you those builders that have the incentives that are going to be lined up. Right. What was your last client that you had? What incentives did they get again?
They got 6%. So they got 6% towards
Wow.
closing costs,
Wow.
and they also got a $10,000 for buy down.
So 6% plus a $10,000 to buy down.
Buy down's interest rate.
So what was their final interest rate?
Ooh, that's a good question.
It had to be
So-
some
5.
Yeah, we're
5%,
still
maybe.
under contract right now, but so we're
5%.
looking at 5, and once they give us that closing disclosure, we'll
All right,
definitely get
nice.
that situated.
Nice. Nice.
So stay tuned.
So they don't have to worry about 7% interest rates like everybody else,
Right.
Because they
Right.
get the buy down.
Correct.
Wow. Okay. So that's the incentives at new construction, right? They
New
do
construction.
offer. Okay. So you said something about they need to come in with closing costs. They need to come in with prepaids, and interest rates are going to be higher. What if there was a VA buyer? Do they still have to pay for certain items? Because
No.
they're zero down, right? But they have to pay for closing costs, right?
Yeah, everyone has.
Everybody got to pay
Everyone
for
has
the
to pay
cost
for
of the loan, which is closing costs and prepaids in case you need to have some reserves, right?
Right.
So how does that work with new construction and resale?
I'll give you an example. So I had a client, VA, where he bought a new construction home, and he gave the builder when we first bought the home the earnest money, and went through the process of the whole buying process with us, and he got that back. So he didn't have to pay down payment, zero down, and
Okay.
he got all his closing costs covered.
By who? By the new construction or by the resale?
Builder.
By the builder.
the
So it was
builder.
new construction. So the builder paid all the closing costs.
All the closing costs, and so they gave him his $1,000 back.
So he no money out of pocket.
No money out.
Oh, and we love our VA buyers, right? We'll
Absolutely.
take care of them. Thank you all for serving. We'll make sure that we take care of our VA buyers. We do
Absolutely.
promote VA. There's also a program called Texas Vet.
Right.
So that if you're residents of Texas, and El Paso, we're part of Texas, we can get you even a better rate if you go with Texas Vet. So for more information, reach out to us. We can definitely give you information on the Texas Veterans Program. So any other differences between a resale and a new construction?
Resale. So you think about kids, right? I've got 2 kids. Schools. We want in a certain area. Say we want to live somewhere by Eastwood High School. Okay. That area, you're not going to find any or very minimal new construction.
Right.
So then we've got to look for just resale.
Right.
And then there's a score we can look at, right? We have access to getting the how certain schools rank, right? As far as making sure that they're good for our kids.
Correct.
So we have access to, and you mentioned Eastwood, it's one of the higher ones.
Yeah, Eastwood is one of the higher ones.
And
And then just
better ones.
it's all about really location of where you really want to live.
Yeah.
If that's something for you, you got to think about where you're going to school, where you're
Right.
commuting to work.
Right.
If
Yeah.
you're taking kids to daycare,
Yeah.
just
A lot of military that come here, they have to, I think it's part of their relocation agreement that they can't be further than 20 minutes out from their office. And there's also, I was part of the ambassador program for one of the hospitals here in El Paso a few years back. And when they would transfer doctors to El Paso, they could not be more than 10 minutes away from the hospital at
That
any
is
given
right.
time. So their home is, part of it, they had to live within 10-minute commute from
the hospital.
Yeah. So that's a good one. So they
That's a good
obviously
one.
couldn't sell them a new construction, right?
Because you got to narrow down that search in that particular area.
So another side note here, talking about new construction and resales. What if somebody had their own lot Is there a possibility that a builder could build on that particular lot?
Yeah, definitely. If they have their own lot, we'll help the buyer reach out to different builders that are open and willing to build a home for our buyer on that lot. And of course, I'm sure done with Fortune.
Yeah.
Time
We
again.
we do it several times a year.
How does it work? The going through it.
So we assess the property.
If
Obviously,
it's a
there's
home
somewhere.
like it's a Montana Vista,
Okay.
big lot acreage, they want a Fortune home.
Okay, so they have their own lot there. So we would go assess the property and check, make sure it has the proper grading, because we have to make sure the soil will support the home. We'll do a soil test. Has to have the electrical lines, the gas lines, the plumbing, water, sewage, to make sure that the lines are there. If not, we need to charge a little extra in case to get that installed. If it can't get installed by the city, then we will need to put in a septic tank, propane tank for gas. So that would be an additional charge. And then if they have the lot, then we would give them credit for the lot. So normally we to purchase our lots where we build is a certain price, so that's the credit we would give them. So say their house is 500,000, now it's going to be less because now we're going to give them that credit. So say it's 450, and so the only thing we do have to be careful is make sure that it does appraise. It has to appraise because Montana Vista has a lot of different types of homes.
Yeah.
So we gotta be careful with the appraisals. We have a lot of buyers that are cash buyers, so they'll build and do cash, so we don't have to worry about appraisals. So we do that.
I was gonna ask
And
that.
we built in areas where existing neighborhoods, like in the Cielo Vista area, the west side, where they're more established, where there's homes already built nearby that are like homes as ours. We've built in those neighborhoods where if you've ever seen like neighborhoods you drive by and there's an empty lot, then that's somebody's lot. Somebody owns it because it's residential. So we could build on those lots too.
Good to know.
So now you get best of both worlds, because now you have the location that you want,
Established
right?
location.
You're not far away. You got all the trees and the landscaping, the grass, don't worry about dust.
Right.
You get to choose your design as long as it fits on the lot, right? You can't build a humongous house and it's not going to fit. You got to make sure it fits with certain setbacks. You got to have 5 feet on each end, 25 to the back, 20 to the road. And as long as that house fits, you'll be. So yeah, that is something that we can explore. All right. So how about negotiations? Is it easier to negotiate with a new construction or with a resale?
Oh, hands down, the new construction.
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
price is the price.
Price is the price. They like repairs. Typically with the resale, if you're negotiating back and forth, who's going to pay for what? Who's going to do what?
Titles,
Who's going to pay titles?
surveys, commissions,
Yeah. Commissions.
all of that stuff goes into. And usually with new construction, it's pretty much laid out. However, everything is always negotiable and looks correct, right? So a house has been sitting, say it's a new construction home's been sitting for 6 months, all day long. It's negotiable. Right?
Even if you see a price online on Zillow, on Facebook groups, and you see it online and it's 500,000, you're like, wow, that's way too much. Remember, we can also do our own reports and we can give them our offer.
Yeah.
We can make sure, because I think a lot of people look at homes like, oh, that's way out of our budget. We can always
Just remember, if you have buyers that are looking to buy a certain home, everything is always negotiable.
Correct.
I always say, if there's a will, there's a way.
That's right.
We'll make it work, and that's why you need a realtor.
Yeah.
All right. So we went through design, we went through appraisals, buy downs, builder incentives, landscaping, location, established area, schools, work. Yeah. So that's
Pretty much it in a nutshell. Yeah. I mean, we don't want to push buyers away from going to resale, because there's times where, we ask the seller of the resale home to pay for all closing costs. And they'll say yes, they'll do repairs. So it's it's just a case by case basis.
Right.
And we got to make sure that we point our clients in the right direction.
There you go. All right.
Get the best deals.
All right. Well, that's it for new construction versus resale homes. Please don't forget to subscribe, to share, and like our page. If there's anything else you'd like for us to talk about having to do with real estate, please comment below. We'd love to hear from you guys. And again, we'll see you at the next podcast.
See you guys.
See y'all. Take care.
Bye-bye.